There's a special kind of pride that you feel deep down inside, a strength that seems to thrive in Lima, Allen County.
The American way of life, to get in gear and do what's right.
An unbreakable forthright link called real American strength. Lima, Allen County, real American strength. Forever moving forward without forgetting where we've been.
Creativity meets technology, where possibilities never end.
Ohio's strong Midwestern know-how, exploring innovative ideas. Deep-rooted but always growing, ever proud of where we live. Lima, Allen County, real American strength.
Community Focus on GTV2 Lima.
Thanks for joining us today on Community Focus. I'm Anne Decker, and I'm pleased to welcome to the studio today Saul Allen from the City of Lima Streets Department. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. It is spring, the weather is great, and you guys are involved in a lot of spring maintenance projects.
A lot of things start to happen once the weather starts changing for us. The biggest thing right now is we will be starting our alley maintenance.
Thank goodness. They're in
exactly.
pretty bad shape.
And really, I think a number of residents who live, either beside or alongside an alley have really seen some issues with the alleys. Really not having a big freeze today, we have quite a few potholes, same type of issues we would have in the streets. But normally we wouldn't even start this process till late April, but we are actually trying to get started this week with the weather breaking as it has. With over 500 alleys, it usually takes us, anywhere from a month and a half to 2 months to go through each and every alley to, put some stone down, take care of the potholes, and, just get the alleys back in shape to where they need to be.
So if somebody has an alley with a problem, can they just assume you're going to get to it, or should they call you?
Either way, we're going to get to them. We're going to get to all of them. Like I said, it's over 500 alleys. If we haven't gotten there, I'm going to say by June, then feel free to give us a call. But if you can't wait till then, feel free to give me a call, 419-221-5165. That's not a problem either. So.
Great. What about potholes in the streets themselves?
Potholes in the streets. We have been going through potholes, and really with the weather being as it has been, we've had pretty much 2 crews going around, pretty much taking care of potholes, even through the winter months. But we are still continually hitting the potholes. They haven't been, in my opinion, as bad as normal because we
I didn't think so either.
We haven't been putting down the salt, haven't had that freeze-thaw situations as we normally would have. But we are, as always, we are taking care of potholes as well. So.
What about the railroad tracks? If we haven't had bad potholes this winter, it seems like the railroad tracks are in bad shape.
Railroad tracks are separate. A lot of times you'll see potholes right there at the tracks themselves, but that is actually the railroad's issue. A lot of times we get calls about those, and best we can do is either call the Ohio Public Utilities Commission or actually call the railroad themselves to complain about those railroad tracks. We cannot take care of the potholes along the railroad tracks. We do get quite a few calls about those.
Can we find the numbers for the railroad companies in the phone book? Or should they call you for a reference? Actually,
they can call for a reference. They can also call the city engineer's office for a reference, but they should be somewhere in the phone book. I'm not as sure exactly where, but we do make those calls as well. So.
All right. What else is your department involved in?
As far as right now, a few other things. Always this time I want to remind residents. There is no fall. there is no spring leaf pickup. With the weather changing, a lot of residents start to, rake leaves again, start to rake grass clippings. We're starting to see some of those things, out on the curbside waiting for us to pick up. Just a reminder, there is no spring leaf pickup, grass pickup. If you want those items picked up, you do have to bag them. And those bags can be picked up at our office at 900 South College Street by showing a water bill or proof of residency. And you can bag those items and put those items alongside the curb when you put out your normal trash pickup. Same thing, if you have small limbs, same thing, you can either bag them or larger limbs have to actually be cut down to 4-foot lengths and actually bundled, but they can still be put alongside with your trash pickup.
Okay. Anything else? You've got the street sweepers actually been out doing some
street sweepers.
spring cleaning.
We've actually had street sweepers out, I'm going to say actually for about 3 weeks. Usually what we do is normally if it looks like the weather's going to be consistently above, let's say about 35 degrees, we'll start to get those street sweepers out, and they have actually been out for actually probably closer to 3 weeks now. We've had at least one, sometimes some days 2 street sweepers out, and that activity will continue. So that's probably one of the earlier times we've ever actually been able to do that, which isn't all bad. So.
No, I think it's wonderful. And then do they continue, what, once a week going through the city all summer?
Primarily, we'll have them out, and usually to make the full round, depending on if we have 1 or 2 street sweepers out, it'll usually take anywhere from 3 to about 5 weeks to make one complete round, and then we'll just start back over with, going through the city again.
You do keep the streets clean.
Exactly. We try.
All right. Anything else we should be looking for?
Well, I guess another item we start to see at this time with the weather breaking is, with garage sale signs and people having garage sales and yard signs. Just want to put a reminder out there that, first of all, if you're going to have a garage sale, yard sale, those first of all require a permit, and those permits actually tell you on that permit itself where signs can and cannot be. And we always get the signs where people are starting to put garage sale signs on stop signs, on light posts. Just want to remind you that if you're putting garage sale signs out in those areas and your garage sign comes up missing, more than likely someone in my crew, they've come by and picked it up, it was in the wrong spot. It cannot be on any of those poles or street signs. Also not in the what we call the area between the sidewalk and the street, where you may have that low grass area. It must be on the house side of the sidewalk. Anything in those areas we will be picking up. So.
Okay.
And one last item, I want to make sure, same thing with the basketball poles, basketball courts, those portable courts.
I've seen a lot of those.
Those are starting to come out already. Just a reminder, same thing as with the signs. You need to be moving those back behind the sidewalk. Once you're completed with those, first of all, please do not leave them in the streets at all, because those definitely can be picked up. So. Well,
and you don't want your kids playing in the middle of the street either.
And really, if you would go by some neighborhoods, you would actually be very surprised what streets some kids are actually playing on.
And that's dangerous.
It's very dangerous.
Besides being against the law, so just move them back into the driveway.
Move them back in the driveways, play safe. Hopefully the kids are having a good time.
Okay, Saul, if people do have questions or need some help, what's your number again?
My number again, feel free to call 419-221-5165.
All right, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
Saul Allen from the City of Lima Streets Department. I'm Anne Decker, and this is Community Focus on GTV2.